This is an impromptu study. It wasn't scheduled. We're having a conversation earlier today. I and a few members. We didn't finish our discussion. Some of those members had further questions, or they didn't quite grasp what I had said, or they may have disagreed. So a decision was taken that we would just go over that discussion again, but as a whole group. Once that decision was made, we decided to turn it into a Zoom study. So this is essentially a Q&A. It's not part of the studies we've been doing, although it's related. So I'm going to go through the question. I'm going to give a sort of brief overview of what was discussed, as best as I can remember. And then as we go through that, then I'll open it up for discussion, I guess, or questions or corrections if you think that I'm saying something that's not right. Is that okay with everybody? So with a word of prayer. Mm. Holy God, we thank you that we can come together during these sacred hours of the Sabbath to try to get a better understanding of your word. In Jesus' name, amen. So the discussion was with the French members that were here at the camp. As they were already part of the conversation, as I go, until I tell you all, please don't comment or ask questions, except if you're French. Because what I'm going to do now is what you've already heard. If you didn't catch it the first time, maybe I want you to catch it this time. Does everybody understand? Until I give you the go ahead to ask questions or comments, everybody remains silent except the French members. Okay, for the translators, I've put the question on the Zoom forum. We'll read it in English. How comes the 10 kings, which are states, can eat the flesh of the beast, which is a state? So this is taken from Revelation 17. So this was Eric's question. Eric, is that an accurate representation of your question? Or would you like to restate it in your own words? So he said it's
So
accurate.
it is the question he
Okay.
asks you.
So I've expressed it accurately in English and then for everyone else. So let's turn to Revelation 17. So this is Revelation 17:16. It's late in the evening, so this is, if I can say it this way, it is not a serious, in-depth study. It's just kind of a semi-casual conversation, really. So don't expect a comprehensive answer. We only have an hour and 15 minutes to speak. So in Revelation 17:16, read the verse. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Just double check, is that the correct verse, Eric? Is that the correct verse? Okay. So if we jump back to verse 1, not 1, um, verse 3. So the angel carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So in all the conversations that we've had up to this point, we've not discussed about the horns on this beast. And in our discussion, Elder Shemaine said she couldn't remember, except Elder Jeff, anybody really discussing those 10 horns. And I said that I had discussed them long ago, but maybe those videos aren't available or they were never recorded. So none of the members seemed to know much about this subject. So we have a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. We know that. It says the 10 horns, verse 16, which were on the beast, they shall hate the woman, and they essentially will kill her. So is that a reasonable paraphrase of verse 16? The horns that you saw on the beast, the horns that you saw on the beast, they shall kill the woman. So we have one beast, 7 heads, and 10 horns. And because they're all part of the beast, they're all in some way connected. They're all facets of the beast. So we've already discussed Revelation 17 this way. And we've said that Revelation 17 is this last part because it begins in 1798. Are you all okay with that? Yes? Okay. So it begins to discuss the heads that are in existence in this last part of the larger story. And so if you were to read the verses, if you were to read the verses, we would be here. What head number are we at? Only the French members, please. Only the French members. Eric? So we're at number 6. Okay. And it says that there are only 7 heads. So this story is that good? So this story begins at head number 6 and it goes to head number 7. And then the story ends. Are we okay with that? So when we look at the beast in this part of history, which is this last section of this big story, how many heads are there? We've got to only let the French answer, yeah? 7 heads? Who else?
7.
We got 7 already. Joanna, did you say something? No? Okay. 1 head. It's only 1 head. So the beast has only got 1 head at any moment in history. Because what we're going to do is count Babylon, Media, Persia, Greece, etc. And so if we were to get this big story and divide it into 7, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this story, you've only got a beast and 1 head. We okay with that? And that's the same as you go all the way through. So you only have a beast with 1 head as you trace yourself through this story. So in this last part, you have a beast with 1 head, which is number 6. Then you have the same beast, which will have a singular head, which would then be number 7. Is everybody okay with that? So even though it says a beast with 7 heads, I'm saying there's 1 beast with 1 head. Now, we haven't discussed what I'm going to say next in our class, but there's some kind of difference between the history of head number 6 and the history of head number 7. So this is the history, HIS, history of number 6. And then the history of number 7. And that's 1 beast and 1 head. Is everybody okay with that? So if we go to Revelation 17:16. Now, before we get there, I'm just going to suggest that in the history of number 6, this story about this interaction between the woman and the beast that we've been discussing in all of our classes isn't taking place. The woman controlling the beast. It's not happening in number 6. I suggest. So, it's in the story of number 7. So I'm going to say no control. And in the history of number 7, I'll say control. So when you get this issue of control, in this history, the woman is sitting on a singular head, number 7, and she's in full control of the beast, as she was from number 1 to 5. Number 1 to 5, she's in control of the beast. Number 6, there's a discrepancy. And in number 7, takes control again. She's taken control of the head of the beast. She's taken control of the beast. And at some time in that control, there's a backlash, a problem. For her. And the problem is that the 10 horns that were on this beast, they're going to change and kill her. So why would they kill her? What's she been doing? The next person to do that is out. Do you want to say something?
And it's a flesh and burn her. It's fire.
Go ahead. Oh,
That they have been deceived. I suggest that they have been deceived.
Je suggère qu'ils ont été trompés.
anyone else? No one else? It doesn't say that in the Bible, we know. No one else?
It's okay. The verse doesn't say why they ate the beast and kill her, but
So why they
ate
hate what?
hate the
Hate.
beast and why they why they ate the woman and burn and kill her. The verse doesn't say that, but maybe it's because of her actions. I don't know.
What's her? You good? What's her action?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know her action.
She rides the beast.
Yeah, she control she control
So you know that much.
yeah, she's control. She's controls the beast, so maybe that's why they kill her, but I don't know.
You said something about the beast?
Pardon?
You said something about the beast.
Did I?
You said they hate the beast.
It's the woman. Ah, excuse me.
I'm waiting for her to answer.
Huh? So yes, we say that they hate the woman that controls them. So why the verse didn't tell?
So we're clear that they don't hate the beast.
Yes.
They kill the woman. And the only information you have that they might not like is that they've been controlled.
So control the beast as upon her. I forgot.
It's okay. Let's get used to it. So the only information that we have in the chapter is that she controlled them. Everybody okay with that so far? All good, Eric? Yep. Okay. So the 10 horns, where would they reside? Where are they? Not in real life, in imagery. I can't remove you because you're translating.
On
Help.
the head of the beast. On the head of the beast.
Which head number?
Alors,
7. They're on the 7th head. All 10. So I'm saying I think you can deduce that from the structure, from the logic of the story. So I'm going to put 10 horns. Everyone okay with that? So this imagery here, the 10 horns are not distributed throughout history. There's something very specific to the very end. Are you okay with that? So we'll stop here for a moment. We're going to go to another chapter. It doesn't mean everybody can talk yet. Now we're going to go to Revelation 12. So I can't remember which camp meeting it is. So anybody can answer this one, just this one. I said, I'm going to say this year, it's not new, that we'll call it the animal in 12, 13, and 17 is the same animal. Switzerland? Okay, so everybody's saying it's in Switzerland. So that rings a bell. So I'm going to state that as not a fact, but hopefully we agree. So all 3 stories are the same story because it's the same animal. In Revelation 12, and now we're in verse 3. So Revelation 12:3 says, there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. Don't get distracted that it's a dragon. Just the, just the beast. So there's one beast. I put D for dragon, having 7 heads, 10 horns. So you can see it's all the same. And then it says 7 crowns. It says 7 crowns on the head. So the question that we want to try to ask ourselves, we know the crowns are on the heads. So is it 1 crown per head or some other model? So that's the question. 7 heads and 7 crowns. So I'm suggesting that it's 1 crown per head, 1 each. So I want to say a crown means ruling. A ruler is ruling. That's what the crown symbolizes. That's the case. Revelation 17. How many crowns are there? How many crowns are there in Revelation 17? Only French. Only French. Don't look for other verses. I've given you all the verses. Don't have to search for anything. In Revelation 17, how many crowns are there? Seven crowns in Revelation 17.
So a crown is one head. So a crown is one head.
So in Revelation 12, it says there are heads and it says there are crowns. So in Revelation 17, what number? 0. How many? There are 10 crowns. Not horns.
So the 10 horns.
Not horns.
Body.
Not heads.
So 7 heads, so 7 crown.
Now I'll ask, which verse is it in Revelation 17? Because I might have missed it.
Verset 3. Verse 3?
We're in Revelation 17:3.
7 head and 10 horns. No?
I asked for crowns.
Ah, pardon. So there are the 7 head, but no mention of a crown.
Give me the number of crowns.
Alors, 0, she said.
You okay? Joanna, there are 0 crowns in 17. You okay with that? Yeah, 0? Good. So that tells you that the supposed king, head number 7, is not ruling. There's only one head, the woman sitting on it, and that head, king, is not ruling because it does not have a crown. And to rule, you have to have a crown. So you might call it a king, but it's not doing anything that kings do. And the 10 horns, they don't have any crowns either. So they're not ruling. We okay with that? If we say that a head is a king, and I'm going to guess that a horn is a king, are those 10 kings, 10 horns ruling? No. Why aren't they ruling? They're supposed to rule. Why aren't they ruling?
Because they have been controlled.
Because they're being controlled by the woman. And what does the king want to do? Rule. So you can see why they kill her. We okay with that?
Continue.
They kill her because they are tired of them not ruling and her controlling them. Is that all okay? Back into chapter 12. 7 heads are ruling. Now you know that those heads are not alive at the same time. Do we know that? Revelation 17 teaches that. 5 are past, which means they're not alive. 1 is alive, 1 shall come afterwards. We didn't read the verse, but it tells you they're sequential. Revelation 12, all 7 heads are ruling. Too fast, sorry. Can 7 heads rule at the same time? No. So chapter 12, same story as 17, must be a different version of the story. What version of story is that?
So Revelation 12 is a panoramic view.
So Pascal has said it's a panoramic view. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you took a picture of the whole, well, I'll say the whole of history in one go, not 7 separate pictures, what would you see? And if you're on your phone when you do those panoramic views, if you did one picture, would you see all 7 kings ruling in that picture? The answer is yes. So you know chapter 12 is a panoramic view of this beast from beginning to end. You okay with that? Let's go to Revelation 13. Same beast. Verse 1. I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. One beast having seven heads, 10 horns, everything the same. And upon his horns, 10 crowns. So now we've got 10 crowns And the 10 crowns are on the horns. So now what's it telling you? This is the history of the 10 crowns ruling. Okay with that?
Which verse?
1. So we already determined in Revelation 17 that the only time those horns are even in existence is at the end. So this is the story, even though it begins in the history of the 6th head, because it's the same, it begins at the same moment as Revelation 17, 1798. The context of the story is in the history where you've got one beast. How many heads?
One.
One head. Number?
7.
Head number 7. 10 horns. And this is the story about the horns, because they've got crowns. Are we okay with all of that? And most Adventists, I guess even us, say that Revelation 13 is the story of the Sunday law. The transformation of the United States from a lamb to a dragon, and the creation of a statue that comes alive, which is the image of the beast, copy of the beast. So, if we go back to Revelation 17, and the questions asked, those 10 horns, at some point in this story, they will rise up and destroy the woman. So I'm going to essentially stop there, and I'm going to suggest that the one head, which is head number 7, equals one king, which is the USA, who is under the subjection, so it's under the subjugation of the woman, under her control, and that the 10 horns, I'll just call it the world, back in the day we'd call it the UN. Maybe you still want to call it the UN. And that also comes under control or the subjugation of the woman. There's a connection between the two in prophecy and in real life. And it's that power that seems to be doing the destruction. So that's the answer that I gave at lunch. It may be correct, it may not be. So I'll just let the French members ask any questions or clarification.
Can you re-explain the 10 horns, what they're doing, and who are they?
So the 10 horns, I think they're a symbol of the world. which we might call the UN, because they're part of the beast, they come under the control of the woman, and at some time or other they're going to rebel. I'll just add that I think they're the same, even though we can't count, but they're the same imagery that spoken of in Daniel 2, which talks about the toes. That whoever they are may or may not be a symbol of the world, symbol of the UN. But they seem to be different to the head. And I think we can demonstrate for sure that they're all on the seventh head. That they're all at the end. They're not distributed through history. So she's in control of this beast from beginning to end, except during number 6. And at the very end, the beast, or part of it, has had enough of that control and puts an end to it. Which I'm suggesting tells you that the beast was always more powerful than her. Which then brings into question what was the mechanism of the control that she had over them, but that's not part of this study.
Do you think that UN has a control upon the USA? Because if you...
Before you do that, if the USA is the head, if the 10 horns of the UN, in the story, where did it say that the horns were controlling the head?
When did he say when the horn controls the head?
That's what you just asked me. Nowhere.
Nowhere.
So what's your question?
So do you think that... pardon.
What's the question?
Do you think that UN control USA? Or can overcome USA? I don't know how to phrase it.
Why are you asking me that question where that model isn't in the chapter?
Because of the discussion we have, but I think there is not, there are an element missing in our discussions, that's why.
So,
yeah, I think that's why I asked the question.
Up to this point,
Mm.
they're not fighting with the USA. They're fighting with the woman.
Yeah, that's this element missing. That's why when I say USA, I know.
Any other questions from the French members? Hopefully it's a little bit clearer than at lunchtime. Yep. Okay, I'll open it up to anybody except Curtis. If you've got any questions or concerns, or you think I've not said something, or something you disagree with. Go ahead, Curtis. Oh, who had the hand up? Who are you pointing to? I can't see.
I didn't connect why the 7 horn didn't. why the 10 horns? Why do we give them only on the 7th head? Because I would give them already on the 5th.
You put the 10 horns on the 5th head. Yes?
Yes?
N-
Like the nations of
No, I don't have to explain. You put them on the 5th head. Not on the 7th head.
I understand already.
You put them on the 5th head. The woman's dead in 1798. And there's no controversy's ended. But she's dead. So they couldn't have been then. Okay, so you said you got the point.
He gets it.
So, Sylvie,
Ich habe eine Frage bezüglich der Kronen. Wo, ich habe eine Frage bezüglich der Kronen.
I have a question to the crowns, about the crowns.
Wo sind dann die 10 Kronen auch da drin?
Where do you see the crowns in the UN?
Die wurden ja aufgegeben.
They would also reign.
in Revelation 13, it says the crowns are on the horns. Do I need shall I read the verse again, or you remember? So that means the setting of that story must be the horns ruling. So at some time, I'll say in the Sunday law history, or from Sunday law onward, we'll say from the Sunday law to the end of the world, the 10 horns are going to be ruling. And I'm suggesting that they're the world.
Und wie ist das in Relation mit Fördern?
And how is that in relation to USA?
Sagen wir nicht, dass die Fördern alles.
Don't we say that the USA will reign over everything after that?
So what I haven't done, I'd be happy to discuss it, to say that the one head, number 7, and one of the 10 horns are the same thing. No. One head, the 7th, is the USA. And then if I said it's 9 plus 1 horns, number 1 would be the USA, and 9 would be the rest. So it might be that way. So when you say the USA, so that doesn't answer your question. You said the USA rules. Where do you see that?
In diesem Vers.
In this verse,
Anywhere.
hatte das so im Kopf, dann die USA die Weltmacht.
I had that in my head that the USA will rule over the whole world.
Understand that? Don't feel nervous or threatened, but where do you see that? Someone told you that or you studied it. Where did you see it? Where is that found?
Did Ellen White say that?
Okay. So you got it, you think you got it from Ellen White. So let me give you a version. We have two countries. We'll call it Russia and we'll call it USA. Okay with that? So that's the real name. Let's give a symbolic name. Anybody for USA? Just shout out. No. Glorious land. Russia.
King of the North?
Russia. King of the
Of
South.
the South.
Okay. And there's one more person. Who's that, Sylvie?
A person.
Person, thing. Glorious land, King of the South, and one more. Symbol.
Earlier in the past we said the papacy.
Symbol. Who's the papacy in symbol? King of the North. King of the North is going to do two things. Come against the King of the South. Kill it. Then what?
And against the glorious land.
Come against the glorious land, which is the USA. If we don't say kill, overtake or crush it. You okay with that? This is what? Because it wasn't, if you didn't get it from Alan White. Book? Book? Sylvie?
Revelation?
Nope.
Daniel?
Chapter? Don't help. 11. This is verse 40. Verse 41. So vaguely remember that? Then you do verse 40 to 41. This story is what this movement is built upon. Where in this story do you see the USA ruling? The USA has just been destroyed in verse 41, which is the Sunday law story, which goes to the second advent. And in this story, the USA is not ruling anything. King of the North is ruling.
But then we also have the eighth kingdom.
This is not new what I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's correct. It's new what that I've been saying for a long time. There is no eighth head. Eighth kingdom. Nothing. There is no eight. Talks about 8 in Revelation 17, I know. Someone said before there's a riddle. Can anybody tell me what a riddle is? Sorry? Just tell me what a riddle means. The definition of a riddle. Oh, no. I don't want to do it. Saying is not going to help us. No one watched Batman? Sorry about that. Riddler.
The secret.
A story puzzle. I've got a terrible version here. Mean anything? Anybody find a good definition of riddle? Sure. Forget riddle. I don't even know what a riddle is. I have to watch more of some movies. Oh, okay. A baffling, misleading, or puzzling question. And you have to guess what it means. Okay? You have to say something and you have to guess what it means. Are you okay with that, Sylvie?
So bei mir steht als Frage gestellte durch Nachdenken zu lösende Aufgabe.
For me, it says it's a question that is asked and you think about it, and it's a thing that you have to solve.
Good. I like that. I'm going to change it a bit. It's a word puzzle that you have to solve. We got there. Hopefully we're okay with that. A word puzzle. Arian already gave us the answer that he thinks. I agree with him. Number 8 is a word puzzle. And the answer is, can we have for Arian? He'll tell you what the answer to the puzzle is.
The eighth is the first, or the first is the eighth.
So number 8 is the first, he said. What does that mean? What's the first?
Babylon.
So number 1 is Babylon. And number 8 is Babylon. So in real life, what number is number 8?
Sunday, first day of the week.
Oh no, I mean head number. What actual head number is it?
7.
So number 7 head, the last one. We want to explain what it is. So there's a riddle that says 8 equals 1. And therefore number 7, the riddle for that is that it has the same properties as number 1, which he said is Babylon. So 8 is a riddle. Did that help? You had a question?
Also, ich habe gedacht, dass die Nummer 8 dasselbe ist wie die Nummer 7, einfach in einer anderen Form.
I thought number 8 is the same as number 7, just in a different form.
I'm going to agree with that. So you agree there's only 7, not 8?
Also die Nummer 8 ist dasselbe wie die Nummer 7.
So that means number 8 is the same as number 7.
It is number 7, not just the same as. And if you said, what does 7 look like? To help you and make it difficult, you get the answer to the question as a puzzle. So number 7 looks like number 1. To help? Curtis?
It's a question about something you wrote above. Could you scroll up?
Tell me when to stop.
Yeah.
This bit above the line?
Where you have the circles. Yeah, above the line.
Okay.
So you say in the history of number 6, it's one beast, one head. So what is the meaning of verse, I think it's 12, 17, 12. No, not 12. 8.
Your question and its answer is nothing to do with Eric's question, is it?
I can't remember what Eric.
His question was, oops.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that. Sorry, my bad.
His question is 10 horns.
Sure. Fine.
So,
Fine. Yeah.
complete different subject.
Sure.
I don't mind doing it, but I just want to give people an opportunity.
Okay, a question about.
You ask another question.
So about the 10 horns, it says that these 10 horns give power to the beast.
Which verse?
Verse 13.
17:13. I'm going to have to go back to 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the beast is the head. That's for everybody, not just you. Everybody agree with that? The beast is the head. So it definitely tells you that the horns are separate to the head. Two separate entities. Put your hands up if you're not okay with that. Because I just got it straight out the verse. I just jumped to this. Even if it's not the world, it's not the head.
Yes.
All good? All good, Lisa? Do you want to ask your question now? In case it slips? Okay, so we've done 12. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay with that? So the beast is the head. And whatever these 10 kings are, they work in unity with the head, helping it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
What it means.
Yeah.
I can guess.
Yeah.
The UN supports the USA.
So it's a follow-up question from that.
Could be wrong.
But
This This is not proper Bible study, by the way,
It's fine. Yeah,
that we know.
for sure. So then in 13, so if we agree on what you've just said, in chapter 13,
Okay, chapter 13 now.
yeah. And it's talking about the power of the horns that have power at this point. Your suggestion was that this is talking about that time period that we just read. I just want to clarify that.
When you say this,
That verse 1.
13:1, the historical setting of 13:1 is not the same historical setting of 17, whatever the verse was.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that your question? No.
I thought that's what you said.
No. I think I said, even though the chapter 13 starts in 1798, as the 17, the story isn't about 1798 because it starts in the history of the sixth head, chapter 13.
Doesn't it start in the
I'm not
history of
guessing.
the-
I'm guessing. I'm not 1798.
Sure, but I mean the story. But that story is about head number 5, isn't it? At least the first 10 verses.
Sure. You don't think the historical setting of 13:1 is 1798?
Yes. So John is standing there, but now he's going to describe something.
Sure. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Just because it says that there is whatever that beast looks like back in the 1260, that's dynamic, isn't it? It may or may not be a dynamic of the fifth head, which it may be. But it's talking about, for our study, what's going to happen in the Sunday law history. Or Peter was correct. The 10 horns were back in the fifth head in Revelation 17. And I can't see that in 17. So I'm saying if I can't see it in 17, then I suggest it's not in 13.
You could just do it the other way around and say, if I can see it in 13, then it must be that it's there in 17. You've just done it the other way around. Like 17 becomes your proof for 13, and Peter's saying 13 should be your proof for 17.
You're saying it is. He didn't.
Ah.
He gave up.
I'm just saying, why is that your proof? Or asking.
If you want, forget 13. In 17, do you agree the 10 horns are at the end, in the seventh head?
Yes.
You can prove that.
Yeah.
You can prove that.
Yes.
You also know, or you can guess, despite what they said about the riddle, the history of the fifth head is the same as the history of the seventh head.
Sure.
Identical.
Sure. Yeah.
So you would see the same dynamic. That's why he said fifth head.
Yeah.
So when you go to 13, we have to ask ourselves, is the story that's being given there, you're saying it's the story of the fifth head, And then if you want to do that, I'm okay with doing that.
But just know that it's talking about the seventh head. Is that what you're saying?
You're going to, if you take what you've said, you're going to make it, they're all sitting on the fifth head.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is for everybody. Peter's correct. Curtis has pointed out that 13.1 is the history of the 1260. Later on in the chapter, it says we'll make a copy of that, and the copy is the seventh. Is that what you want to do? Is that what you believe, or
Yes, yes.
why don't you just say that?
I tried to.
Why don't you just state it as a fact instead of...
Well, I stated it as a question because I didn't fully understand what you were saying.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Did everybody not understand what we just said? Put your hands up if you didn't understand.
Oh, la, la.
Put your hands up if you don't agree. You just don't understand. Okay. 1798, 13.1. One beast, 7 heads, 10 horns, 10 crowns. And then you've got a copy of the one beast after 1798. And Curtis and Peter said in Revelation 13:1, this is verse 1. Which verse is the copy?
$14.
14. So in verse 14, they make an image to the beast. And the copy of that is Revelation 17. That's what you're saying? That makes sense? I'm okay with that. So I stand corrected. 13.1 is the past story, which is a copy of a later history, which is given in Revelation 17. So the Revelation 17 version is this one, and the Revelation 13 is the story of, at least this first part is the story of the original. That's 13.1 and 13.14. Good? Is that?
Yes.
So I think it's a short question. But as I understand at the beginning, Eric's question was,
So Eric's question.
how come the 10 kings, which are states, can eat the flesh of the beast, which is a state? But in the verse it says woman, with the flesh of the woman. So, and I think we were answering in the presentation, the flesh of the woman.
What happened was when we spoke about it at lunch, I pointed it out that it's not the beast. Before class, I said, I can't remember the question. Can they write it out? And sorry, can they remind me verbally? When he reminded me verbally, he said woman. When they typed it out, they said beast. And you'll remember Shemaine asked me a minute ago, at the beginning, it said, do something against the beast. She said beast. And I corrected her. I said, it does. Where did it say beast? She says, okay, it doesn't. So it's a typo.
Then I understand correctly.
Before we agree with that, let's ask Eric. Because I did clear this up before, twice. And when I read it, I didn't read it properly. My bad.
Well, I mean, it's a beast eats the flesh of the woman.
It's my fault. I asked when I read it if it was accurate, and it really wasn't. Somehow, in the midst of all this, the translation got mixed up.
Mm.
And when I read it, when we discussed it before, I picked up the same thing you did. But at the beginning of the class, I just read what was written. And I think it's a translation issue. Because Eric knows what he means. All good? Yes. Oh, sorry.
We didn't hear.
Stop. Sorry, it's not even, you've got to do that again. Start again.
So, but Eric's question was, why did does the beast eat the flesh of the woman? But we said the 10 kings or the 10 horns are not the beast.
That's how the conversation started at lunch. Because I think the question was the beast doing this activity. And it sounded funny. So I asked them, which verse is that? Took me to the verse. And when we read, that we could all see it wasn't the beast doing that. And so we did the whole study. And at the beginning of this study, we fell into the same trap. Didn't correct the question. I apologize for that. Thank you. I knew I should have asked you before. We ran out of time. So we will stop. Okay, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to go to bed, so don't come up. Let's pray. Oh. I know we're kneeling, but before we pray, is everything okay? Holy God, we thank you. We ask that you would be with us in our humanity. Thank you for the lesson that we learned today. That in the multitude of counselors, there is wisdom. It's so easy to miss things, to look at things and make assumptions. Help us to be able to work closer together, to pull together and share our knowledge, so that we might come to a more harmonious understanding of your word. In Jesus' name, amen.